For many, the smithing templates and armor trims are the best part of the Tales and Trails update. However, for people like Broston, they'll question why something as simple as customization has to be made so rare. And this is a common response upon learning just how uncommon Minecraft really made these. But this was not a mistake. It was purposefully changed by Mojang, as you can see from this 4.7% rarity trim, the Vex armor trim becoming 50%, and this 4.7% armor trim becoming just 5%. They want to have super rare armor trims, but why is that? And it ties into the rest of the Tales and Trails update, so allow me to answer, because hello, I'm AbbyX this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series where I answer your questions about Minecraft updates, the universe, and everything in between. And let's start with the big one about armor trims, because a few people have speculated this is great for making a new currency for servers, and indeed, armor trims are a better currency than diamonds, but they're not making this armor trim rare just for the sake of being rare. They actually are making it rare to make it better function its main purpose, and also to tie it into Tales and Trails. If that sounds like a stretch, allow me to show you another feature in this update, the cherry wood. And the cherry wood is not particularly rare, you might say, it's just another type of wood, but it is actually something you can use to make cherry signs that are a bit more of a flex than an oak sign, because the cherry wood is only found in one biome, the cherry grove, whereas oak wood is found in the forest, it's found in the plains, it's found in all sorts of biomes, including the ocean, by the way, because there'll sometimes be little islands there. You can find oak trees all over, and so wood is valuable, it's useful for starting the game, but cherry wood is the slightly more important wood, which allows you to flex on some level. But even if you're not flexing, you're just making something fun, you can customize, but in exchange you have to go across your world, you have to search far wide and honestly a little high upwards, and then you can find these new cherry groves, because they're a sub-biome off the meadow, which makes them very, very rare. And the same is true, if you think about it, for lots of features in this update. They want there to be things, you know, if you want to get any form of armor trim, it's not like dyeing your armor, where every type of armor dye is exactly the same rarity, and so dyeing your armor means the same no matter what. You can trim your armor relatively easy, just find a shipwreck or find a pillager outpost, eventually you'll find some armor trim. Trimming armor is not the rare thing in this update, anyone can do that, it's not actually that rare. Trimming your armor with the particular trim you're looking for, now that is the challenge. If you want to have the super rare, trims, those are the ones you're going to have to fight for, and even with the Vex trim being a 50% rarity, it still means you have to find a woodland mansion. Even with the, these rarities are something Mojang is really sticking to, as you can prove by looking at the statistics for the Elder Guardian. So the Elder Guardian has a 20% drop rate of dropping the Tide armor trim, and this is something which is not affected by looting. They could have made this easier to find with looting, so you could farm them en masse, but they're deliberately making it so that not every ocean monument contains one. You will have to search a lot of your world, at least 2 ocean monuments for the average player, to find yourself a Tide trim. You'll have to search so many ancient cities to find the Silence armor trim, and that is an exciting challenge to me, but the reward is, look at this armor, and if that's enough for you, then that's great. But this Tales and Trails theme is all about customizing things, and that's why they finally added banners to shields on Bedrock, by the way. I know a lot of Java players are like, okay, what's the deal with you guys just getting this? But we got this, can you let us be happy for a second? But yeah, you can customize all sorts of things now to do with your shield, although I had a question for myself. Okay, I'm gonna interrupt my own Q&A to ask my own question here. IBX asks, can you put a banner trim on a shield, then put the shield in an item frame and show off the banner that way? Would there be a good reason to? You know, we have to find out, don't we? By the way, while I've been in America, I'm using my Xbox to do the preview, so just if you're curious why the world's different, or why it's so old even. And also, there's just a hole in the green screen over there. Can you forgive me for that right now? Can you see my bed? Oh, that's not okay. Okay, here I am again. As you can see, I've got my blue shield. I totally didn't notice on when I first looked at these that they renamed the shields to be the main color of the banner pattern, which means you can do something funny where if you color a banner but something entirely different, it would have that name. But we've got to stay on track. Let's see what happens if we put a item frame down and then we put our blue shield in there. Oh, it does keep it. So now let's compare that blue shield to the banner pattern, because this is the blue banner that made it, the exact same one. Ah, it's got a little thing around it. So there actually is a reason you would use this. Obviously, it cuts off some of the pattern, and also, have you noticed this? It's way lower resolution. I think this is actually a more accurate reflection of the UK flag, but I still think they're just entirely different options, right? Anyway, so long story short, if you do that, you'd have a different thing. Although, now I'm kind of like, okay, so this is my white shield, even though it's half red, half white. I want to know if I can have a white shield that's entirely not white. That is my new goal, so let's quickly find out. So I'm gonna put my white banner in here with my lime dye, all of it, and then I'll just dye this side to be lime. Okay, so you can see it's half white, half lime, but now if I just dye the opposite end, okay, the opposite end, now that's a white banner that just has two separate patterns on it, which means if we now combine this with a shield, which you better believe I want to, it'll say that it's a white shield, even though it's lying to me. Minecraft, do you really think this is a white shield? The answer is yes, it does think that, and I think that's fun. If nothing else, you can do silly things in this update, like have a white shield that isn't white. And what more do you need in life, I ask you? Probably quite a few things, actually. Anyway, speaking of quite a few things, oh, by the way, if you're watching this video and you want to learn about banner patterns, you can go watch my banner pattern tutorials from 2015, and they'll probably be valid today if you want to learn how to make some weird stuff. You do want to, right? You do definitely want to. And the answer, liked by over 370 people on my beta video this week, was Draco Play's comment saying, next they should allow you to put markers on your maps by clicking banners with the map item. I totally agree. I made a video about Java features they really need to bring to Bedrock especially, and this is really high up on the list, especially for Tales and Trails. If you want people to have more customization, allow them to customize their maps more. I didn't want to bring it up too much in the video. I think we should praise Minecraft when they bring something that's been asked for so long, but I also think that's quite important. By the way, Blue asks, how does he have Minecraft Legends? And the answer to this is that usually press, which now includes YouTubers, gets early access to games in exchange for not being able to publish before a certain date. It's kind of a mutually beneficial deal because on the one hand, you know, Mojang gives out the game, and so in a way you're kind of getting to play something early, but then you get to build up the hype for other people to play it if you think it's good. If the game was terrible, I would have said that too. I think you know by now I'm pretty honest about stuff, but Minecraft Legends is a game they gave quite a few press copies out to. It seems there were several hundred people playing it, and it's one that I'm really curious about how the main release will go, because a lot of people were kind of burned on Minecraft Dungeons, and so will they come back for Minecraft Legends? I certainly hope so, but it's one of those things I'm actually going to have to wait to see about, just like how a random 501st clone is going to have to wait and see if he wants to put banners on his shields, because you can't do it with experimental gameplay. You have to wait for 1.20 to come out, or you can download the Minecraft preview/beta. It is a bit confusing because there's 3 tiers of Minecraft Update right now. There's the main ones that roll out to the game, then there's the experimental ones that roll out to the game via like 1.19.70 for example, where you can play around with features early with experimental gameplay, and then there's the earliest version of that, which is the preview, the beta, the snapshot, where they're actually developing it and it's immediately live to play around with. So right now, the banner shields is only available in that bottom tier, and it will move up to the top tier in 1.20 in just a short few weeks. We are now presumably in the last couple months of this update development process, and I am incredibly excited. Not as excited as Justin Montesero is, though, for the Minecraft movie, because they ask if the Minecraft movie will be as great as the Super Mario Bros. Movie Q&A Saturday question. And to answer your question, honestly, this is a hard thing for Mojang, right? Like, they've spent so long working on this one movie, we're getting close to 11 years now, they've spent so long working on it that arguably, you know, video game movies have gotten better around it, so it's going to be judged more harshly. If they'd released whatever they had 6 years ago, it might be terrible by comparison to the Mario movie and the Sonic movie. Will the Minecraft movie hold up to both of those? I actually struggle to see it. I'm personally looking forward to the Mario movie, by the way. I've heard good things about it, and I know it's meant to be pretty wacky, but personally I like wacky. I want to have a good time with things, and speaking of having a good time with things, Able Cypher certainly isn't having a good time, because they say, why do all Minecraft YouTubers only post news about betas that you need a computer for? Like, isn't the only reason we play on Bedrock because we don't have computers and can't play Java? And this is something I want to vehemently disagree with. I see so many people basically put themselves down in their edition of the game, but I don't play Bedrock just because I don't have a computer. I have multiple computers. Computers are actually relatively affordable. You can get one that plays Minecraft for about the same price as a current gen console. However, the real question is whether you would play Java if you had a computer or not. And I want to, you know, like, be honestly, I want to encourage people to be proud of the fact that you play Bedrock. I I think the fact that we play this weird version of the game where you can place in front of yourself or where structures generate in different ways, it doesn't have to be a downside. In fact, this is the version that Minecraft is putting more of their resources behind. It's increasingly clear that this is the main version of Minecraft. This is the one that is going to get all sorts of wacky features like editor mode, and honestly, if you think you're just playing it because it's the only version available to you, give Minecraft Java a shot. Yeah, it might look like more of the YouTube videos because most, Minecraft YouTubers have been playing the game for a decade when Minecraft Java was the only main version in a lot of cases, but right now, Minecraft Bedrock has so much going for it, and you shouldn't just be playing it because you think, oh, it's way worse Minecraft, but I can't get good Minecraft, because this is good Minecraft. Or, to paraphrase from a comment I got on a live stream that said, do you play Java or Bad Edition? No, I've rephrased that. Do you play Minecraft Bedrock or do you play Bad Edition? Do you play the edition, which is available on the most platforms, that allows you to play with friends the easiest, that has the better performance and the way, better system for rendering lag and rendering, honestly, the entire game? Or do you play the edition that's going to be discontinued in a few years, that has a community that literally revolts over the idea of having to wait 0.3 seconds between combat hits? Do you want to be a part of the community that genuinely harasses developers in some cases over minor changes in snapshots or removing features like the bundle? Or do you want to be a part of the community that says, yeah, Minecraft's a great game, I look forward to the next update? Personally, it doesn't matter which version you play. I think the attitude is the most important thing, and enjoying what you have is really important for basically anything in life, but especially for Minecraft Bedrock. And that is why, if you're watching this video and you play Minecraft Bedrock, you're my homies, and I'd like to believe that I'm your parasocial equivalent. Speaking of parasocial equivalent, the Crimson Blade asks, what do you do to play on one world so long? Mine usually only lasts for a few weeks, and this is an increasingly common question as Minecraft gets older and older. People love the gameplay loop for the first 2 hours of the game. That's maybe what you see in a bunch of videos, but ultimately they get bored of a world after a while, and this is something you even see of YouTube, videos, like all sorts of Java YouTubers do the same, where they'll start a Let's Play, they'll get 5 episodes in, then they'll start again, another Let's Play, get 5 episodes in. Even the biggest series that run on Java, they have to reset every 6 months because people get bored otherwise. But personally, I think playing on a long-term world creates a whole new set of challenges. Sure, you have maxed out gear after a certain point, but what are you going to do? Are you going to work on new farms if you want to? You can do that. Are you going to work on building the biggest projects that are possible? You can totally do that. Anything is, is within your control, and ultimately when there are new updates coming out, the reason I'm so excited for Tales and Trails is because it then gives you new options for everything in your existing world. Whereas when you just load up a new world, it's like all that new stuff has always been there, whereas for me, I'm gonna have to fight real hard if I want that silence trim, but I'm looking forward to Minecraft 1.20 because I look forward to working real hard on it. Just like how JNL had to work real hard on this terrible comment here, Toycat, Fahrenheit is better for weather, why should we care about the boiling point of water for the weather? In Fahrenheit, 0 is really cold for humans and 100 is really hot. I don't think that Celsius or Fahrenheit is better for weather, because even in your great idea of like, well, Fahrenheit's great because 0's cold and 100's hot, well, 10 is cold and 110 is still hot, 95 is still hot and 20 is still cold. Do you get the idea here? That if you know what a temperature is, you know that it makes sense. You could have a temperature system where 1056 was the perfect temperature, but if we all understood it, it would be fine. The reason that I think, Fahrenheit and Celsius are identical for weather is because weather is so subjective. Your preferred 28 degrees might be my 22 degrees, and it doesn't matter which system we're talking about, I could still prefer 22 degrees. I mean, I'd probably have to be insane in Fahrenheit, because I think that's below freezing, but I wouldn't know if it's below freezing, because freezing temperature isn't 0 in your silly, wacky system right there. No, I do have to say, I think Celsius versus Fahrenheit is such a dumb debate. You can have whatever temperature system you recognize for weather, because it is such a subjective thing. I think for science, Celsius is clearly better, but honestly, even then, I think when it comes to like casual things, it always makes sense to use the units you know best. This is the reason why in the US and the UK, and even I think Canada too, like feet and inches are still used to measure height and length for things. People still know their height as 5'8" or 5'9" or 5'12" because they know that everyone around them is based on those measurements. And so I think that is why Fahrenheit might be better to you, but when you're talking objectively, to say any Imperial unit is better is wrong, because if you're learning something from scratch, you should learn the new way. Like, did you know how money used to work before the metric system? It used to be that there were 12 shillings to a pound, and there's 20 shillings to a pound and 12p to a shilling. You know, it sounds like Harry Potter money, and speaking of Harry Potter money, if you want to give me your money instead of to fictional characters, I guess, then I'll be live streaming as you watch this right now. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft Legends, and I'll be streaming it a bunch this week, so come check me out. And as always, it's a great place to honestly watch a new game, to chat and all that stuff, but also all the other things that you love from a live stream. And speaking of things you love for a live stream, they always end just like this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, friend.